Hello everyone, welcome to a new video in React Basics learning series. In the previous video we worked on the update to do item functionality. As part of this video I'm going to do some minor fixes related to the UI as it was not looking very good, and then we are going to basically do a little bit of refactoring and basically changing some styles for these buttons so that our app looks good. Okay, so before getting started, if you are new to the channel, this channel is mostly like in this channel I'm creating videos related to web development, and this is one of the first series where I have talked about how you can start building React app from scratch. So if you are a serious learner, please go ahead and watch my series on React project tutorial for beginners. And as part of this series, basically I have built an entire to-do application, and in the process I have explained very small details around how basically when you work on production grade applications, how you can do the debugging, how you can do the setup, environment setup, those kind of things. And there is lot to come, but this is just a starting point. So if you really want to learn web development, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and go ahead and see these videos. I have already uploaded so many videos related to the basics. Okay, so after this, let's get started with the actual application development. So first of all, you need to open VS Code and go to the project folder. There you should have this task component. So we will be basically we have a task component and to do app. So to do app basically wraps to do app is basically using the task component for rendering the UI related to each of the task items. As part of this video, like in the last video, if you look at the task component, right, we have added a lot of things, and the overall structure of the component got a bit complicated. So my approach for this video is basically to show you how you can fix the UI. Let's see if I'm able to get this completed sooner. I will try to work on the refactoring part as well. If not, in that case I will be creating a separate video where I will be covering the refactoring part for this. Okay, so let's get started then. So first of all, uh, in this particular component we have added a new input and button for handling the update action, which is like if you look at the current UI, it does not look very good here. So what we are gonna do is like we will hide this particular task whenever we are doing the editing, because if you look at it, basically same information we are showing here also, so it looks a bit redundant. As well as we will have more real estate for showing this input box as well as the button, so that it looks nicer in the UI, and user does not care what is there in this particular list at this point, because all the details we have already pre-filled in the input box. So let's get started to do that change. So first of all, like we will be moving this entire code block out from here. It won't be part of the actions wrapper because I want to use it for within the task list item itself. So let's cut it from here, and I'm gonna put it here. So you have a task, so this is what gets rendered as the detail here, right? And this particular item, basically we want to hide it. So whenever this edit is visible, right, we want to hide this. So let's do that change. So whenever not we are not in edit mode, in those cases basically we want to hide this. Okay, and if you are like really worried about this component is looking more complicated now, hold on for some time. I will be doing a very proper refactoring where I will show you how I can refactor and make it very simple, so that the logic is very self-explanatory and becomes more readable. So I did this change. Now ideally whenever I go to the edit mode, this particular task section should get hidden, and this is the section which should appear where we can do the edit. So let's go back and see how it looks. So as you can see, let's refresh this application, add a new to do item, React Basics learning, and add this item. Now if I click on this edit button, you can see that item that we were showing earlier, the text related to this entire content is hidden now, and I can do any changes. So let's name it as updated. Once I change it and save it, it gets updated, and the UI looks a lot nicer now. Whenever you go to edit, it looks a lot better compared to how we had it earlier. So this issue is resolved. One more thing that I wanted to resolve as part of this tutorial is this button styling. So basically we are using same button for having this marked as completed as well as while editing. So I want to do a small change where this button should look like a green color button, because it is more aligned with this completed task list. uh, and also when a task get completed, it seems but like it is better if you use that green color button. So I will change this to green color for mark completed, and I will leave this as a primary color, the blue one. So let's do that change. So for that you can visit the InDesign website, and on InDesign we need to check for this particular circle outlined. Also let's go and see circle outlined, circle, circle. Okay, so this is what we want to use, check circle two tone. So that like I want to use this kind of color, so here I can pass the two-tone color which is green. So let's copy this entire code from here. Also, like if you are new to InDesign, please go back and watch my old videos. I'm using InDesign to reduce overall development time for these tutorials, so that like I directly go to the topic which I want to basically talk about, and don't spend too much time on the styling side of it. And that's why I'm using InDesign. If you're very interested in understanding each and every CSS and HTML that I'm using, please make sure you comment in the video, and I will make sure to create the content related to the topics that you guys are interested in. Okay, so I copied that particular component, and let's see where I can place it. So this is where like this is related to the edit, but I want to put it for the completed one, right? So for the completed one, this is the button. So let's change this icon. I pasted the icon that I have copied from there and design website, and I will just copy this and add it in the import as well. So let's update our icons import, add it there, and that's it. Like we are basically done with the changes. Also this type primary is not needed. We don't want to use that blue color wrapper around the button, so I just got rid of that. Let's see how the UI looks now. So if I come back for mark completed button, as you can see the styling looks a bit better where the color is green. When I go back to editing, I can give any number, let's say 23. This is blue color. So like once I edit, this gets updated. If I mark it as completed, it gets moved here. So I think that's about how you can update the styles. One more thing that I notice here is uh, okay, let me add one more new task. So if you look at it, the spacing between these buttons is not very good. Also when I go here, I don't see. So these are small things that you need to take care when you are building a real world application, where the UI should look more professional. So I'm just trying to create a mindset where you have these things in your mind whenever you work on either a company project or it's your own project which you want to uh, like uh, you are creating a customer facing application, and you need to take care of these small things so that you create a nicer UI for the users, and that's how they basically like interacting with your application. Okay, so let's go back to our code. So first of all, here on this button, uh, what we want to do here is like whenever these basically these two buttons are appearing, right, I want to put some gap between those buttons. So this is for handle complete task and handle edit button click, right? So let's okay, mark completed button, and this is for, okay, let's see the style first. So I will be checking the styling. Let's go to task.css and see what are the styles we have. We have action wrapper style, and then mark completed button is not using any style so far, and this is basically not a mark completed button. So let's move this class out from here and add it here, because this is where we have, this is the mark completed button. And for the mark completed button, let's add a small css. I will be giving margin left as 5 pixel, just to have a small amount of gap. So when I create a new task, learning React basics, so as you can see there is a small gap, looking, the buttons are looking good now. The other thing that we want to do is in the edit as well, we want to have some gap between this input box as we have added here, right? Similarly, we want to have a small amount of gap so that UI looks a bit consistent. So let's go back and see that particular area in the code. So first of all, this is the place where we are adding the input and button. So let's add a class name here as well, class name, and we'll call it as handle update to do task. Okay, so let's call it as update task button, and we will be adding one style here for that. Okay, so I'm using that same class update task button, and in this case I need to give margin left because the input box is left to the button, so I just want to give left margin, so that so two ways to do it: either you can add a margin on input box which should be margin right, or you can add on the button which should be margin left. So let's create a new task now. Learning React basics, and add this task. This is good. Click on edit. As you can see, the button looks nicer now. It is well aligned. So let's create a new task and give it some number. That's it. So everything looks good. If I click on mark completed, the task gets moved to the completed queue. And I think we have done the refactoring a little bit, and we have made the style better. In some of the upcoming videos, like, I can completely focus on doing a little bit of refactoring of this component, so that like, you can clearly understand what all things are happening, and the code becomes more readable. So that's it for this particular video, and I hope you are able to learn something new. And if you're learning, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to our channel. Also, if you have not watched previous videos in the series, please go back and watch those. It will add a lot of value for you if you are a serious learner. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon.